So today I'm excited to have you because we're diving into a topic that can truly, like really, guys, transform the way you approach your practice, the growth of your practice, and the marketing of your practice. And that is differentiation. I know that many of you are working hard to grow your practice and figuring out what works and what doesn't work for you. And you're still trying to find joy and reduce your stress and overwhelm in your work that you do every single day. So you want to increase profitability. You want to attract the right patients. And of course, you want to do all of this without adding any stress to your life. The dream, right? Well, today I want to show you how one of the keys to achieving this is actually not about doing more. A lot of people think that you have to do more. Nope. But about being crystal clear on what sets your practice apart from all the others. What is it that makes you unique or special or different? What makes your practice the obvious choice for your ideal patients? Now, of course, that's a step I'm not covering in detail today, but you have to define that. Who is your ideal patient, right? So we're going to talk about this. How do you figure out what your differentiators could be or should be, or what's going to work best? And why is this so important? So let's talk about differentiation. You've probably heard me speak before about how I hate how oftentimes dentistry is commoditized, meaning people see us as all the same, like comparing apples to apples. Someone comes to see you, gets a quote for a crown, goes to see someone else, gets a quote for a crown, looks at those two quotes, and then is just comparing price as an example. And they're like, yep, they're all the same. I'm going to go with a cheaper one. We want to avoid that. We want that not to be the conversation that's being had. We don't want to be apples to apples comparison. What we want to be is apples to pina coladas comparison. Okay, that's a term we use in the office quite a bit. Not apples to apples. Okay, there are so many dental practices out there, and as amazing as all of you are not the only talented, hardworking dentists or dental specialists in your area. So you need to define, either figure out what you're already doing or what you can do, what makes you stand out. If a potential patient is scrolling through a list of options, whether that be online or somewhere else, why would they choose you? In marketing, we talk a lot about your unique selling proposition, and this is true for all businesses. It doesn't matter that you're a dental practice or a specialty practice, it's the same. Your unique selling proposition is the thing that sets you apart, or things. It's the special sauce that makes your practice different from the one down the street. It could be so many things, and I'm going to miss some here. Only your creativity can limit you here, but it could be your approach to patient care. It could be your specialty. It could be the way your office environment feels, your culture. And it's critical because the type of patient that you attract to your practice shapes all things. Your workday, your enjoyment, your income, your stress levels, and ultimately your success will all depend on who you are actually attracting to your practice. When we think about a unique selling proposition, you can think of many different categories. It can be how you treat people. It can be the conveniences you offer people. It can be the extra value you provide. And then there are subcategories under all of those. If you're not clear on the thing that makes your practice unique, you could for sure be unintentionally attracting patients who aren't a good fit for you at all. And that often leads to burnout and frustration and not feeling fulfilled or being as profitable as you actually deserve to be. So instead, we're going to be purposeful. So how do you go about defining what makes you special? Well, let's be clear. I think absolutely every single practice has something unique to offer. It's not always about being the most cutting edge or having the fanciest equipment, although that could totally be your thing, and awesome if it is. Your USP is often found in what you do best, what you are most passionate about, and what you believe your patients truly value. So in order to figure out what your USP is, so you can shout it from the rooftops, we need to ask ourselves a few questions. Number one, what do you enjoy most about dentistry? Is there a specific procedure that you love? Do you love building relationships with patients? Is there a certain patient demographic that you absolutely love serving? Number two, what do your patients say about you? When people write you that 5-star Google review, what are they raving about? Are they talking about how gentle you are, your attention to detail, how caring your team is, the way that you explain things in a way that makes sense? Go look at your reviews. Write some of these things down. Number 3, what problems are you solving for your patients? Think about the pain points that your patients come in with, whether it's anxiety about visiting the dentist, maybe complex dental needs, maybe cosmetic improvements they're looking to make. How are you making their lives easier or better? And number 4, what is your vision for your practice? What kind of culture are you building? What do you want your practice to be known for in your community? What words do you wish that people would say about your practice when asked about it? If you can answer all 4 of those questions, it will start to uncover what your USP is. What is your unique selling proposition? What makes you special? You do not have to be different in a grand way than anybody else. What you actually have to be is really good at talking about the ways that you are special so that people will see it and gravitate towards it, because other practices are probably not doing a good job talking about this. So it makes you stand out and it attracts the correct people to you. Then you can shout it from the rooftops and you will attract patients who align with your values and your strengths. This is how you build a practice that you love being at every single day. So once you've identified your USP, it's time to make sure that it shines through in your marketing initiatives, in your daily interactions. It should be woven into absolutely everything: your website, your social media posts, your email marketing, the way your team talks to your patients. Here's where intentionality comes in. When you know your special sauce, then you can communicate it consistently, and it will naturally attract patients who resonate with that. For example, if your practice is built around making dental care a calming experience for anxious patients, then make sure that's reflected everywhere. Your website could have soft, welcoming language. Your social media posts might highlight patient testimonials about how relaxed they felt. Your office decor should reflect the same calming vibe. When everything aligns with your USP, the right patients will start to find you. You can also start to target them. So let's talk about the payoff. When you're intentional about attracting your ideal patients, the ones who truly appreciate the things that you bring to the table, you'll notice a few things start to happen. Number 1, your workday becomes a little bit more enjoyable because you're working with patients that you love, doing procedures that you excel at, and creating an environment that energizes you. Number 2, your practice will grow naturally. Patients who are a great fit for your practice will talk about you over and over again to anyone who asks or anyone who will listen. They are way more likely to refer others who are also a great fit. This creates this lovely cycle of growth that's happening, underpinning everything you do all of the time. And it doesn't require endless marketing pushes. Basically, you're marketing yourself all day, every day by being able to communicate well the things that make you different. It also makes you more profitable because happy patients who value your work and the things you're great at and the things you work hard at are willing to pay for the care that they know they can't get anywhere else. You'll also have less stress and more fulfillment because you're going to feel aligned with your purpose and in control of your practice, which leads to less burnout and less overwhelm. This is why differentiation is so critical. It's not just for practice growth. That's nice, but it's also for your well-being as a business owner and a dentist. It helps create a guiding light or way of being that then helps you to make all kinds of other decisions too. So everything can then be taken back to the thing that makes you uniquely you and special. So I have a challenge for you today. Take a little bit of time, small amount, to reflect on what makes your practice unique. Go back to those 4 questions I asked at the beginning and answer all of those. And you will start to see what sets you apart, the things that you can rave about and talk about and tell and show people that you are great at. And once you have that clarity, you can start weaving it into your messaging. If you find yourself stuck here, because there are people who get stuck here, they answer the 4 questions and they're just really not sure, then the exercise I want you to do is to identify as precisely and as much detail as you possibly can who your ideal patient is. And then try to think, now that you know a lot about that person, try to decide What are the things that that person would truly value and appreciate and think are special? And then decide, is there a way you can create that in your practice if you're not already? Or are there things you're already doing that align with that you can talk about in a better, more obvious way? Okay. I promise you, when you define and own what makes your practice different, you will start to attract patients who are a perfect fit for what you do best. Of course, if you need help getting clear or you want to dive deeper, you can drop questions in the comments below. You can always send me a DM. I've left that out for all of you all the time. You can send me an email too. I'm always here to help bounce ideas around and help you build the practice that you love. Thank you so much for joining me today. And I hope you can take this and run with it, because there are many things that make you totally awesome and special. You just have to define them and come up with language around them so you can make sure that everyone knows it so that they choose you. I'll see you guys next week.